with a little love and some tenderness. We'll walk upon the water, we'll rise above the mist, with a little peace and some harmony. We'll take the world together, we'll take them by the hand. 'Cause I got a hand for you. Oh, I wanna run with you. Yesterday, I saw you standing there. Your hair was down, your eyes were red. No comb, I touched your hair. I said, get up and let me see you smile. We'll take a walk together, walk the road a while. 'Cause I got a hand for you, I got a hand for you. I wanna run with you, oh, don't let me run with you. Hold my hand, want you to hold my hand. Hold my hand, I'll make you do a place where you can be anything you wanna be, because I wanna love you the best that I can.
Hey everyone, welcome to the 1-year anniversary celebration of Job Connection Tuesday. So happy you could all be with us on this, Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. That means it's 3 p.m. Central and 1 p.m. Pacific time where I am at. Today I am doing something that has not come normal to me. I'm reflecting back on the last year. Why am I doing this? Because this is a big accomplishment for me as a neurodiverse individual. To be able to do anything for more than 15 minutes, it's an accomplishment. To do something for a year straight, I mean, there's no better in Vegas that would have guessed this long. So thank you for being here. Another bit of uncomfortable thing I did is I'm showcasing myself. So in the intro video that's new specifically for this, you're going to see a lot more pictures of myself. I also wanted to show off my why. So as you can see on the background, my why is my children, as well as my wife, who asked me not to put her picture up on social media, as well as the work I do with Crescent Kids, which is helping children with sickle cell anemia, and is run by my dear friend, Funmi. So with that being said, here's the way today is going to work. We're going to be a little bit reflective. We're going to look back. We're going to talk about trends in job seeking. I'm going to bring on a whole bunch of guests that I have with me. There's going to be different people popping in throughout. I do not know if this is going to go for 15. Well, it's not going to go for 15 minutes. I do not know if this is going to go for 45 minutes. I don't know if it's going to go for an hour or for 2 hours. This is an inclusive environment that is safe for everyone. So I want to remind everybody on my platform, first and foremost, if there is any hate speech, negativity of any kind, you will be removed from the broadcast. I do not have any tolerance for anything like that. Brenda Miller and Leah Turner earlier this morning did a LinkedIn Live about harassment on women in the social media space, and I want to highlight the fact that that's just not going to fly within any of my platforms, whether it is my Job Connection Tuesday, whether it is over on Clubhouse, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn Live, or my group Job Connection Tuesday Collective. So I have some people waiting to come on, but before I do, let's do a little bit of history. So how did this all come about? Why did I start this thing? It was very simple. I was a global project manager for 5 years. After that period of time, I wound up taking what I thought at the time was my dream job as a head of global project management for a software development company. It was right at the beginning of the pandemic, and two things happened. One is my wife and I had had a very long pregnancy, and my children were about 1 year old. And I realized I was dealing with both burnout and postpartum depression, male postpartum depression. The second thing is the pandemic occurred. Boom. things happened. I lost my job. Spent months upon months upon months trying to fight to get a job within the field. Didn't expect at age 36 I'd be pivoting again. Thought, no, there's no way. And then as a last effort, I came on social media. And I decided to say, hey, I don't want any illusion about who I am. So I went on video. I said, hi, my name's Dan. I'm neurodiverse. And if you don't want me, I'm fine with that. This led to the most important year of my life, next to when I got married and when my children were born. People started to notice. People started to pick up. And I started to notice that there was a gap. There were plenty of people that were doing connections, bringing people together. But there was nobody that was connecting job seekers to recruiters. So how do we resolve this problem? I step in. Did I expect it to be anything much? No, I went in with no expectation. All I figured was best case scenario, I help a bunch of people and I get noticed by recruiters and I find a job in project management. Worst case scenario, I help other people and I'm good. What I didn't realize is by the third week, 8,000 of you showed up. By the fifth week, 25,000 of you showed up. By the time that we were 3 to 4 months in, we were regularly getting 25,000 views. Now, while views may be a vanity metric, when I look at my ability to reach out and help job seekers, I don't look at it as a vanity metric, because every eye that you could get on somebody that needs to find work is an important thing. So I kept on going. And I kept on looking for different iterations, different ways to evolve. This involved going on Clubhouse. This involved trying to identify where I could add value. And along the way, I met a woman that will be on here in a short bit, Anna Morgan, who became my coach. And with her help, along with Pat Roquet, because I do want to give a hat tip to Pat, as well as Catherine McCord, who I'll be bringing on in a second, I realized I need to get out of my own way. I jumped into recruitment. Within 8 weeks of being in recruitment, I started working for Amazon. Now, at the same time, this platform got built up. And to my surprise, we are now at a state where this post every week gets between 75,000 and 80,000 views. We are at a state where if people don't wake up early, we have 350 comments by the time it's 9 a.m. Pacific. Recruiters from all over the world come to my platform to look for people for their jobs. People from all over the world rely on my platform to be seen by employers they may want to work for. One of the things I'm most proud of is that I have helped job seekers in over 30 different countries. This platform has allowed me to help build a career accelerator classroom in Nigeria, and I've done 2 keynotes there. I take great pride in the fact that I have helped find people jobs in every continent except for Antarctica, where it is too cold to get a decent job, much less a good cup of coffee. That includes Pete's Claire. So that's what this is. We get 750 to 850 comments per week. We've created a collective, if you're not part of it, of nearing 3,500 people that brings together job seekers, resume writers, coaches, interview prep, influencers, along with some of the best recruiters on planet Earth in a safe, structured environment, free of bias. Because when you have a platform, a lot of people don't understand this. When you have a platform, it is your duty to try to make the world a better place. Recruitment is broken. Things are not the way that they should be, and we are not working on behalf of job seekers. My platform is built to normalize mental health discussions. It is built to give people honest, genuine, accurate information free of bias. I keep on saying that. I will keep on saying that, free of bias. I am here to give opportunities to job seekers that wouldn't normally have those opportunities because our system looks down upon and structures it in a way that if you live in an impoverished community, you don't have that same opportunity as those that do. Troy Holt's going to be on here in a minute. And if there's one person that's impressed on me the importance of narrowing the gender and racial wealth gap more than anyone else, it is this man. So today, while this is a celebration of the last 365 days, I want everyone to understand 1 year is a very, very small amount in the scheme of things. And we are going to do everything in our capacity to make the world a better place. Because when my children were born 2.5 years ago, and I had to think about if they asked me, can I be anything I want to be, Daddy? I couldn't say yes. So as a father, as a parent, as a global citizen, it is my duty to do everything I can from the day they were born until the day they get older and hopefully make better decisions than I did, so that when they do get to that point, the world's that much better. And hopefully, instead of cleaning up the sticky floor, we could remove the glass fucking ceiling. This is Job Connection Tuesdays, a celebration. With that, I am not going to go in order. I'm going to bring on one of the people that has been most influential in my journey when I was starting out. She is somebody that first said, well, why the hell are you going into corporate recruiting? You should just run your own firm. And I said, no, thank you. I don't know how much she liked it, but that's where we sit. She taught me about what it took to be a recruiter and gave me the tools to do what I need to do. And quite frankly, when you start off in something, you need those great examples to set the infrastructure that allow you to be great. I am pleased, thrilled, happy to welcome my dear friend, Catherine McCord.
Hey, Dan, you got me choked up and then you're going to put me on air, dude.
That is what I do. That's my sense of sarcasm.
I know. And I want to say, first of all, I am so honored to be invited here today. This is such a beautiful celebration of something that has continued to blow my mind over the last however many months since I've known you. I don't even know how long it's been, honestly. But it's really beautiful. And the collective has really become something amazing, and people just jumping in to help each other. And, I've found some great resources for me, and hopefully I've gotten to be a good resource to some of the people in the collective, and it's really fantastic. So congratulations, man.
Thank you. So I'm going to bring everybody on, and we're going to, kick off this discussion. Again, everybody, if you're just tuning in, we are going to have a number of people popping in throughout the afternoon. Anna Morgan's going to be on. Claire Davis is going to come back if she's allowed to. I think I may have pissed her off about not liking Pete's. By the way, because I'm a jerk, Bobby Umar, if you are watching, I want you to go back and watch that intro. I gave you hair, buddy. I put hair on you in that. So
I love that you call yourself, that's one of my favorite things about you, Dan.
What?
That you call yourself out. You're like, look, I did this. You just need to go, look, I totally did this. Here it is.
What's the fun? What's the fun of it if it's not going to be called out? So next person I want to bring up, and I mentioned him before. When I started on social audio, there's people that you look at because they have platform that you don't. And when that happens, you want to see people that are going to make you feel good about being you. Troy was the first person to follow me, and while it seems like a very inconsequential thing, it actually has a really big importance because it gives people the confidence to step forward. So Troy is somebody that has run multiple social audio rooms on narrowing the gender and racial wealth gap. He is a John Maxwell certified coach. He currently works in the mortgage industry. Catherine, if you know anybody looking, this guy is a good contact. This is the one, the only, I'm not going to use you by your name, but by your pet name. Here's Troy.
What's up, Dan? Hey, Catherine, how you doing?
It's great to meet you.
Likewise, Dan. So, who's the better looking one, you or me?
You.
Catherine, Dan
I'm gonna get yelled at, but I'm gonna say this anyway. As a DEI practitioner, I have to say that.
He is therefore obligated.
Right. Dan and I have a little inside joke that we tease each other all the time. But Dan, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. I called Catherine. I called Dan out on a Clubhouse yesterday. We was in a room together, and he was telling me about the celebration. I said, so I'm jealous because you didn't include me in the celebration. So I'm glad to be here. Dan has been a good friend, and we've done some rooms together. Dan, I'm just excited and proud of seeing what he have done in the year, how he's seen a need and a gap and a need, and he was able to bring those two together and to help people and add value. So Dan, congratulations on the 1 year. You're welcome.
I appreciate it, Troy. So I'm saving two people individually for last that I'm going to bring up, and there's a very important reason for that. So the next person I'm going to bring on has been one of my newer friends. She's taken a leadership role within the Job Connection Tuesday Collective, answering a lot of questions, helping people out, genuine heart. She looks like she could still be in college. I'm not going to ask her age, but Tegan, get the F on here. I sent you the link. Anyway.
Oh.
Hi, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thank you for giving me a minute to compose myself after that introduction, Dan. Catherine, you had it right. I'm over here like tearing up in the office and like nobody walks by. Oh my gosh.
I know, and I'm a mean person, so like if you can get me to cry, I feel like you've really accomplished something.
Yeah,
like just
First of all, you're not mean. You're bipolar.
Yeah. So
no, I'm also mean. It's in addition to.
Sorry.
With scientific research, we've concluded the answer to be hell no.
That was not me. I know that was perfect timing, but it was not me.
That was great.
That is my hell no button. All right. Holy moly, we got even more people that are coming on. This is going to be fun.
I do love this, like, because some people that I've seen them comment on things, I'm like getting to see them as a human now. Yeah. This is kind of exciting. I like this.
Yes.
By the way, for those that have tuned in on a regular basis, because I'm going to bring her on next, we have this ongoing rivalry between our coffee. Somehow she lives in Washington yet prefers Pete's. What I am drinking today is Bones Coffee Au Fudge. And actually, in the very beginning of this project, so of Job Connection Tuesdays, I was raffling off coffee to the person that was able to get a connection for somebody. And the coffee that I actually raffled off, and I did send to people, Black Rifle. Black Rifle, for those that don't know, every bag that you buy, they send one bag to a military group of your choice. So anyway, let me do a proper introduction for Claire. And just so you know, Claire said to me the other day, she said something very interesting. She says, Dan, you think I'm so sweet, but I got this mean side. And I'm like, you grunting when you're doing yoga is not mean. Like, that's just not mean. Look, I get that you live in Washington where it's gloomy all the time and most of your sports teams suck, but that's still not mean. Here's the truth. Here's the truth. When I met Claire, she was one of the first people I turned to, and she gave me the advice to do a brag book, which anybody that knows me is completely out of my depth. Because it means that I have to talk about me. But it was a brilliant idea. And ever since that point, her genuine kindness, all I could say is she's an effing human. Like, she's the best kind of human being on earth, outside of her coffee choices, and places to live. What else can I say negative about Claire? I don't know. No, I love her to death. She's become part of my family. I'd do anything for her.
You better be careful. These Seahawks fans can be vicious, and you're
We're
not
trying to
that
get
far
Russell
away.
Wilson here in New York. So
Seahawks.
Oh man. So
Yeah.
I'm from Spokane, Troy. Troy, it's so nice to meet you, and you too, Catherine and Melanie and Dan. I mean, it's good to see you too. buddy.
Likewise,
One day
Troy.
I'll turn you to Pete's. I'll turn you.
Okay. So next up on the stage is going to be like my 15th, 20th, like 30th favorite Canadian.
That's so far down.
He talks way too much, but I love him anyway. He was one of the first people that actually was a frequenter of my post. Hey, Brendan.
Oh. Is he there?
Apparently,
He's muted.
Well,
I am here. I just happen to be outside dealing with snow at the moment.
Okay,
so,
I can take
was
you
like,
off, and I'll bring you back on later.
Yeah,
I know
I
you're
need
trying to be nice because you're a Canadian, eh? But it's okay.
Oh yeah.
That's what happens when you live in Canada.
Snow, eh?
Yeah, I have my favorite Canadian coming on in a little bit, so it's okay. We've got you covered.
National
Yeah, it's
representation.
also
Don't
nice
worry.
that I made top 30.
Well, I tried to get
I'll take top 30 too. I mean, it's nice to hit there.
So I got to be honest. I tried to get Cher Jones, and I had to settle for Brendan Clausen.
Oh, gosh.
Like a fourth grade stringer at best, but
No, I love you, buddy. So next person I'm going to bring in. I wonder how many I can actually bring in. I don't know.
I think 10.
Well, I have
Dan.
to drop off in 8 minutes, so then you'll have my.
All right, got you. Well, I appreciate you being here if I don't get through to it. So I'm saving one person for last, and it's very pointed. She knows why. So the next person I'm going to bring up is when I needed help with Job Connection Tuesdays, and anybody, and y'all know me well enough to know it's not easy for me to ask for help. She's a person I turn to, and thankfully she had a VA that needed work. So she stepped on board. She handles all the anonymous posters that frequent. That tripped me up because whoever's commenting there is commenting from YouTube, and it just shows up as me. I'm thinking for once like it's Daniel Roth, editor in chief of LinkedIn. Then I see, oh, it's YouTube. Oh, hey Anna. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah, everyone, you're getting to see my witty, sarcastic side. Most people don't think I have a sense of humor because I'm supposed to be serious all the time. But that is okay. Anyway, going back to it, Tegan has become a dear friend. She's somebody that I know I could count on. She's in a lot of my office hours when she actually remembers that they're there. She is an avid dog lover. She was seen in that old movie about dogs, Best in Show.
That movie.
I don't remember where because it was so quick, but
Movie's epic, though. To be part of that in any way is awesome.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Oh, Tegan.
Hey, Tegan.
Hey, dude.
What's up? The crew and the snow.
This is crazy. Thank you all for showing up.
Dan.
Honestly, I'm not gonna get.
Dan,
to
I have
that.
a question.
Go ahead.
On your trailer,
Yeah.
it says no pineapple on pizza. I was so tickled. What's the deal with that?
Yeah.
We are not
Because
gonna get into
pineapple
an
on
argument
pizza
live.
is disgusting.
We're
And
not
Dan knows that.
Yeah,
Oh no.
we're not going to get into an argument.
Claire, it's you and I, right? Pineapple and pizza, right?
It's the only way to eat pizza.
No.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Dan. I was started something.
It's a fireable offense. It's a fireable offense. Look, I literally once, this is not a joke. In high school, I broke up with a boyfriend. I did, over eating pineapple on pizza. I literally fired a boyfriend for this.
Wow,
this is not a thing.
Sorry, what type of behavior are you encouraging on here?
I know, right?
The perfect kind. By the way, if you don't know Catherine, welcome to the. No, I was about to say something real bad. In a positive way, but real bad. I must be growing for me to pause there.
You did so good, Dan.
That could have gone downhill very quickly. You know.
Now I want to know what you were going to say, because now I'm over here like, wait a minute.
Let's just say.
It could have gone downhill, and it still can.
And it still can. I'm saying it.
My parents,
just send it down the hill.
My parents are watching this. Like, my mom's recovering from gallbladder surgery, and like if I start,
Good luck, Mom.
If I
Hey,
start
Mama
going-
Roth.
if I
Hope
start
you get
going
better.
off,
Yeah.
she's gonna be like, Dan, what are you teaching your kids?
So, how to be grossly
well,
inappropriate at all times, and that's how you're
my-
successful in HR.
First, my kids will never have pineapple on pizza in their life. They will be disowned if they do. But okay, let me get. I need to get to this person because this will reset me a little bit. So here's the deal with this person. I will make her cry, but believe it or not, Tara Argo is going to be here and she'll cry even more. So everybody's good. So when I was at my lowest point, I came on video because I wanted to show, I talk about being a voice for the voiceless. I want people to understand that talking about mental health is the best way to get through it, and we need to normalize that. And by the way, we're also not going to get into a discussion about the use of the term imposter syndrome because I will go off the effing rail. So I just lost a job that I was so sure I was going to get. And she calls me up. She says, I want to put you into my program. Once a year, I take somebody under my wing and I cover them. And I was so down that there are certain points, and job seekers out there are going to know what I'm talking about, where you get so low that even the hardened person doesn't have the ability to say no anymore. They can only say yes. And I'm so glad I did, because whether she thinks I'm giving her too much credit or not, sometimes it takes somebody to have your back, to understand you, to be in your corner, to show you that life can be more than what you thought, for you to be able to find yourself and excel. And look, we could debate all day long whether I would be in this spot without her. I don't think I would be. She's become one of my best friends, one of my family members. We text all the time. She has a wholly inappropriate sense of humor, which is perfect for me. And honestly, I mean, there's not enough things I could say about her that she hasn't either already heard or will yell at me if I talk about. For those that don't know her, she's the creator of the Job Search Angels, which are desperately missed on social media. Fox is looking to do a reboot in 2055. Lana said, well, I'm not going to be alive at that point. Fuck you.
55.
But anyway, love her to death. Oh, when did I go into asshole mode? Oh, it was this morning when my kids woke me up at 4 a.m.
The struggle is real, man. The struggle is real. Hey, Anna.
Hey, Anna.
Hello,
Hey.
my beautiful friends. Dan, you got goosebumps going here. I got the fighting back the tears. This is, just how the universe works. And it brings in, you know, amazing people into your life. And, you know, I have been just as blessed to have had you a part of my coaching journey, and having the experience to, you know, help you peel back some of those layers and point you in a direction and connect you with amazing people like Catherine, and continuing to expand this, you know, amazing group of humans that have that servant mindset. And that is the Career BFF vibe and embodiment. And you really are a Career BFF, and you have just done incredible work and helped so many people. And I know I speak for the group and everyone that you've touched, that we're better because of you connecting us and having those conversations and putting in that effort. So congratulations on 1 year. I can say I am proud of you.
Yay, congrats.
I'm proud of all of us because it's been a tough year. So
I have a hard stop. But you guys are all amazing. And I'm so sorry to run off as soon as you get on screen. You're one of my favorite humans. But congratulations, Dan. And thank you to everybody else that was here, and be great. Have another great year.
Thank you. So I said, excuse me. So we have another person that has come, but I said that Anna was going to be a bit of a reset for me. And that's because I did want to mention something that may be somewhat obvious to some people, and that's what's in the bottom of my screen. So last week, for those that don't know, I came on live and I shared a part of my story that most people don't know. And that was that my cousin was murdered 6 years ago, in an accident that never should have happened. After 6 years, the sentencing occurred, and for the first time in 6 years, we can start to grieve. I talk about this not because I think it's the perfect platform for it, but I talk about it because when we see each other on social media, there's not always the transparency of knowing where somebody's coming from and what has led to them being who they are. And it's important to me to show these components because I know other people won't. Matt was more than a cousin to me. He was a brother. He was 23 years old, straight out of University of Maryland, was in his first job and he was well on his way to really being somebody special, as if he wasn't already. So today I've put this in there in loving memory of him. I know my family is watching, and so anyway, I did not say that right before I was going to introduce the next person, on purpose. So Tara, I am humbly and truly sorry. That was not intended under any. Oh, hi, Riley. This is my ADHD. I know Tara's daughter. Because Riley is right there, I'm going to bring her on screen instead of doing like a formal introduction. Hey, Riley.
Oh.
Riley, you want to say hi?
Want to say hi, Riley? Say hi.
The door's not on this side. Why
I
is it
know.
on this
Well, it's just the camera. She's confused by the way the camera is picking up the door. She's like, wait a minute. Can you say hi? She's like, it's on the wrong side. Can you say
Hey, Riley. Riley, I've missed you.
hi? She's missed you guys too. She was just finishing up her school stuff, and so she wanted to come in and see what was going on.
No, it's all good. So Tara is one of the founding members of the Your Business Peeps community. Her and Tracy Borison, who's going to be on in a little bit, really founded this community in an effort to bring a loving, vulnerable sense to the entire personal branding. They created this amazing safe space utilizing Mighty Networks that is just a beautiful place, and I've been in there for months. They were the first people I reached out to be affiliates of the Job Connection Tuesday Collective. So I'm really happy you're here, Tara.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. You know, I got my plaid on for you.
I love that. And I'm just honored to be here and to watch all that you have done over the past year. And I put in the comments that I had written that you're a man committed to making a difference by providing those resources and opportunities and connections. And all of us just get to play a small role in that. And we are really honored and grateful for that opportunity to be surrounded by those types of people. And so I'm just so very proud of you. And he's even allowed me to be even more vulnerable. I'm pretty vulnerable, but I think I challenged Dan in that a lot.
Well, I mean, you do, because, you know, here's ultimately, first of all, I think Troy might beat you in the vulnerability department. It's
That's fair.
just my observation. But that's the thing. And I want to point this out. Vulnerability is really dependent on the environment and whether or not you feel safe. When I'm with Anna, when I'm with Claire, when I'm with Troy, when I'm with Tara or Tegan, there's a stronger likelihood in those environments that I'm going to feel like it's okay and be safe to be vulnerable. Everybody needs those safe spaces. In general, the only people that really see me break down in those moments, because everybody breaks down, like, let's be clear on that. But traditionally, the only two people that has ever seen me break down is my wife and my father. And that's it. So having people like Claire, like Tara, like Tegan, like Anna, like Tracy, where are you? It's such a humbling experience. And the biggest compliment I could pay any of you, and this is something I didn't have, is I said to Tracy and Tara weeks ago, because they got me emotional when they showed up on the for all 2 hours of the office hours that I do every week. And I said to them, you showed up. I'm not used to people showing up. I am used to showing up for all of you. And I say you not in like the collective that's here today. I mean the general you. And by the way, everybody that's tuning in, I see every single one of your comments. And we will get to them. Real quick segue, just so everybody knows. Brendan is on the screen, but as soon as Tracy gets here, she created this amazing video going through the history and looking back on Job Connection Tuesdays. So depending on how we're going, whether we have things to talk about, whether we don't have things to talk about, we'll make a determination of where we go from there at that moment. I have invited, there are a bunch of people that have not been able to make it that I want to acknowledge. You know, a lot of us know JT from these different rooms. And by the way, I'm specifically talking about JT Eric. I want to acknowledge, you know, somebody that's become my sister, Michelle Olivier, Brenda Meller, who can say enough about Brenda. So many other people. I mean, I doubt she knows what's going on, but Cher Jones played an integral role in my journey. Let's see. Speaking of Brenda, she sent me a message. Let's see. LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. That is where we're streaming today. Okay. So anyway, so let's get back to it. Brendan, thank you for getting back in. I really appreciate you. So talk to us, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? Like, it's awesome. It's great to actually get on here with everybody who's here. And it is pretty much a who's who of amazing people and supportive people. And like you were saying, Dan, I mean, you know, everyone here is awesome. Everyone here is supportive. It's incredible, actually. It's incredible to have a community that's so diverse from so many different places, from so many different backgrounds. how can I not want to be here? How can anyone not want to be here?
Well, you're kind of not really here because your background is kind of
That's, there is a sweet irony in that.
Because that's that same annoying background Dan used to use.
Yep.
Brendan, you're perfect just as you are.
Thank you, Anna.
You know,
I
that's
kind of
using-
walked into that one.
you don't have to say that he's Canadian.
it's an homage to Dan's old backgrounds.
Oh my gosh.
No, like the only reason I put
Wait,
that
where's
there-
your tank top?
The what?
You don't want to see that. Nobody
Is this
else
also
has
going to
it,
turn
so-
into a little bit of a roast, maybe?
I had to
I'm just saying.
just be aware
Yes.
that for every roast I get, you will get back twice as hard.
Oh, snap.
I
What
t-
do kids do? They're
Like
like,
there's two people I'm not allowed to roast.
"Arr."
I'm not allowed to roast Anna, and I'm not allowed to roast Tracy, and those are
I
like
am
the only two
immune.
people I'm not allowed to roast.
What?
Claire, when you challenged me and said I'm not as nice as you give me credit for, that was a green light to go straight ahead.
It was after a power yoga, Dan. I was
No,
out
it was
of my mind.
before a power yoga.
Shoot, you're right.
I remember that because your son came in the room and asked to do yoga.
I know they're cool. Those kids are way cooler than I was at their age. I'm like yoga, you're bored.
Those warrior poses will get you fired up, Claire.
See?
Keep doing the power yoga.
Oh man.
And by the way, for those that are seeing this are like, oh, this is not the Dan I'm used to. This is what happens when you put me in front of the people that I love and care about. I get like,
We're a big old family.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, well, everybody.
Can
and
Can
then
I tie
Brendan.
this back to the collective really quick?
Go ahead.
How is that for a streamlined segue? So I think, and I can't wait for you to show that video again and talk to Tracy about making it because it was just beautiful. And I think that, one, people don't take the time a lot of times to celebrate movements like this one that's been created. And Anna, you're so right. It was like how the universe works and how it should work, right? When things are right and things connect, things just start happening when it's from the heart. And the biggest thing that I take away, even from right now getting roasted by Dan on live on LinkedIn, is that you've created this family feel in a situation where so many people feel alone. Like I remember very clearly the depths that you go to when you lose your job, when you're laid off, and like all your pride is wrapped up in that, and it's scary and terrifying and heartbreaking and financially stressful. And you made it this unifying movement. And I'm so proud of you for doing that. And I don't know if we say that enough, but I think that's just amazing. And you see more of it right here. It's just this incredible family that you've gathered, and we just kind of fuel each other, and it becomes something we do together instead of in a silo. And it's amazing.
And I appreciate that. It's been very weird for me looking back at things because I'll be the first person to acknowledge, like, I don't even look at my kids' baby pictures because it's hard for me to look back at what was. But what I can say, and I want to speak to this on the neurodiversity front, there was nothing I did that ever felt out of place. And I think what this goes to show is when you have somebody that could help you find what you're meant to do, like Anna was saying to me for months, Dan, you need to be a recruiter. And I said, no. And then I was like, okay, Anna, I'm going to be a recruiter. No shit. Like, this is what happened. But when you find these spaces then, and you get that clarity and direction, this is what could happen. But the entire safety, the entire familial, that was very strategic because that's not something I had growing up. Like, I'm not saying I wasn't tight with my family, but what I am saying is that, I've talked about getting bullied because of my neurodiversity and all that kind of stuff. Like, I never had that group. I never had a best friend till I was 22 years old. So it was very important for me to facilitate a very safe and structured environment. And some people will come in and it'll be like, oh crap, he's laying down the gauntlet. It's not laying down the gauntlet. It's if you don't structure things in a certain way, then you allow things to happen that can make people feel awkward or uncomfortable. And we've all been there. We don't want to be there again. So with that being said, I mentioned that I couldn't rag on two people, one being Anna and the other being Tracy. Guess who just showed up? So before we get too far, and Tracy, I'm going to do this very pointedly, and I hope you're okay with it. Tracy created a video looking back at the year that was. It's about 14 and a half minutes long, but I think it gives a shit. I haven't seen it, so I don't know what it gives, but I saw the 2-minute teaser, and that was amazing. I purposely didn't watch it until this point. So I'm going to play that for everyone. Then we're going to come back. I'm going to introduce Tracy. And then all of you that are watching, all of you out there in TV land, why do I think I'm on NBC? I don't know. We're going to take some questions. We're going to answer some stuff. But before I get to that, I want you to know that the family I have here, any single person that is on my stage, I can 1,000,000% recommend to you and say, if you want to reach out to these people, they are of the highest quality ever created. So whether you're looking for a coach, a resume writer, my 32nd favorite Canadian.
Oh, now I'm out of the top 30?
I mean, you're well, Martin Brodeur is number 30. So you can't be like right on that line. I prefer Claude Lemieux to you. I'm just kidding. So Brendan's like a brother to me for those that can't figure this out. Anyway, let's move over to the video without further ado. Actually, I need to share my screen first, so that would probably help.
Happy anniversary, Job Connection Tuesday. It has been 1 year since Dan started doing this post, which is incredible because at the time, he was unemployed. He was, trying to figure his own shit out and had a big enough heart to give other people a platform to find work themselves. So hopefully the original profile Dan had back in the day made the edits. Tracy, girl, hook it up. But no, seriously, Dan, you have come so far in terms of branding yourself, in terms of finding your voice. I mean, it has been a wild journey. I was looking back through some of our DMs and just seeing each other, encourage each other and all of that, and looking back at some of your posts from back then, and it's just amazing the community you have cultivated. And so when I was asked what Job Connection Tuesday means to me, that's what it means. It means community. A community where people respect each other enough to be vulnerable, that we are able to come together to support one another, and it not being a quid pro quo thing. It's just a, hey, if I can help you, let me help you. Hey, this is what I need help with. Is there anyone out there that can help me? It's such an amazing community that you foster. And so huge kudos to you for your 1 year anniversary of Job Connections Tuesday.
this is Jessica Sweet from Wishing Well Coaching. The group Job Connection Tuesdays is a warm, open group for job seekers. And if you're a job seeker and you're not part of it, you need to get yourself there right away. It is so warm, it is so connected, because that is who Dan Roth is. He's got the hugest heart, he's the nicest person, and he's always thinking about, what can I do for other people? That's the question that's always on his mind. What can I do for you? That's the spirit of the group, Job Connection Tuesdays. And if you are a member, you can be prepared to have people asking, what can I do for you? How can I help? So you can show up and think about how that group can help you out, but also be prepared to give of yourself and help other people as well. It's an amazing group. You should check it out, and it might just be the thing that helps you move your job search forward.
Job Connection Tuesdays post, I mean, it is the best. It's more than just a post. I know Dan wanted to know, what it really has meant. For me, it's actually meant a lot. It's meant a community, because that's what's really come from it. It's a community. That post has turned into the group, has turned into connections. I've met so many people I can't even count who have impacted me in ways I never would have expected through that post. I've met incredible people who've given me advice, who've allowed me to vent when I needed to vent at times, who've talked to me about, any number of things related to my career, inside, outside of work, you name it. I've met awesome people. And it's also given me an ability to give back. It's allowed me a place where I can go and I can help other job seekers. I can help other people who really need something. And Dan's creation of this post is so important. It has changed the lives of countless people. It certainly has for me. And I can't begin to express how grateful I am for that post. Tuesdays, I look forward to it every week because Dan is amazing. That post is fantastic. The community that it has created is unrivaled. It is the place that everyone wants to be and everyone needs to be when they're looking for a role, when they're looking to hire somebody for a role, you name it, that is the place to be.
Hi, my name is Anna Anderson, and I am a project manager career strategist. I truly appreciate Dan and his platform for Job Collective Tuesdays. Dan has created a platform where job seekers can go on there and ask questions, seek advice, find people who can support them on their career journey. As a project manager career strategist, Dan has referred tons of women my way, and I've been able to support them, whether just by calling them, talking to them, and speaking with them about their career journey as project managers, as Scrum Masters, or them converting in being my clients and going on to land project manager or Scrum Master roles. I truly appreciate him because he's also taken on women from my community, interviewed them, given them opportunities to interview with Amazon, and find ways to help them in their career journey. So thank you so much, Dan. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for creating this amazing platform that has gone on to help millions and millions of people. I'm hoping that as we continue into 2022, this platform will continue to grow and help a lot of job seekers. So thank you so much.
Job Connection Tuesdays is a fantastic resource for both myself and my job seekers. Unfortunately, I'm not always able to find a position for my job seekers, so I'm able to refer them confidently to both the posting and to the new group he has available. The fantastic thing about both the posting and the group is not only are there recruiters, but there are resume writers and there are job coaches available. So there's a resource available for everybody. I just want to mention happy anniversary to both Dan Roth and the group. I can't wait to see what happens this next year that happens.
guys, it's Claire Davis, and today I want to shed just a little bit of light on something that we do not give enough credit to in the job search. And it's this. The job search is so much harder when we go it alone. Just like anything, if we want to see real momentum, it's best to put yourself in the most supportive environment possible. And that is why I am so grateful for the Job Search Tuesday Collective. Dan Roth of Dan Roth Consulting has put together this incredible group full of job seekers from all walks of life and industry. And it's not just job seekers, it's not just a job board. It's full of coaches, resume writers, interview strategists, job search pros who regularly come into the group to share their expertise so that we can all rise. So if you haven't joined this group yet, I highly, highly recommend it, because I can tell you from firsthand experience and from the experience of my clients that when you start to tackle your job search with a group of supportive people behind you, that's when the real traction starts. So if you haven't joined, don't wait. Your job search could actually be fun. And Dan, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for creating such an impressive, inclusive, wonderful group like Job Search Tuesday Collective. Thank you so much.
Dan Roth, I like to call him Recruiter Dan, is the epitome of a career BFF. I'm Anna Morgan, Job Search Accelerator Coach, and I had the privilege to coach Dan about a year ago and help him find his life purpose to connect amazing job seekers with amazing opportunities. And now he is a recruiter with a top employer nationwide. And through consistency, through messy, fast action, he has talked with, supported, engaged thousands of job seekers. He's expanded his network with amazing recruiters from your small mom and pop shops to your FANG recruiters and even more. And so he is building a community, has built a community that gives job seekers access to decision makers that they might not have had access to had it not been for Dan creating Job Connection Tuesday. His post, and now a community that is over 3,000 members of like-minded people that want to be of service, that want to educate, inspire, motivate, support job seekers through that journey. And I am thankful to LinkedIn, thankful for Dan Roth. He really puts his arms around everyone and not only builds a community, but it's like he expands his family and he cares about people. And when Dan cares about you, he is going to sing your praises from the mountaintops, and he is going to jump through hoops. And I think of him doing a mud race, like where he's climbing mountains and going up ropes and jumping through mud, and just like with that fierceness and that vigilance to be a resource to those that need that support. And I am humbled to know Dan. I'm super excited to continue being a part of the Job Connection Tuesday Collective, and just round of applause to the Job Connection Tuesday community and Dan for just consistently showing up. So you are having this ripple effect that you may not see the numbers or the data to support it, but just know every night that you go to sleep that you have positively impacted people's lives. And when they leave interacting with you, they are better people. So thank you, Dan.
one of the things that's most important for me is safe spaces for people to be exactly who they are. And if there's any safe space that you guys can find on LinkedIn, it's Job Connection Tuesdays, The Post, and The Collective. And the reason is that that is what Dan also believes. This is why we are peeps, is because we believe in creating safe spaces. And I've been on LinkedIn for many, many years, and there are very few spaces like this that are safe. And also, I don't know any other one that is specifically focused on job seekers. And so if you guys haven't checked it out, you have to. If you have access to jobs, check it out and share them. There's amazing candidates in there. If you're a friend for recruiters, refer them. If you know people who are looking for jobs, this is the place they need to be. This is the place not only where people find jobs and connect, but it's also the place where you get to do it from the place of being you and knowing that you have value just as you are, not because you're supposed to be anything else. So thank you, Dan, for such an amazing contribution to LinkedIn and to the world. We're so excited to see where it's going to go. It's just going to grow. So excited for you. Congratulations. And let's hit 2022.
And now for my number one favorite Canadian, Ryan Reynolds. No, oh, sorry. Hi, Tracy.
Hey, you got Ryan Reynolds. I mean,
I'm so excited.
Canadian. He's my favorite Canadian too.
Tracy, great job on that video.
Amazing job.
Really beautiful.
Beautiful job, Tracy.
Everything's still blurry for me right now.
This is what you can do with very limited video editing skills.
You would have never known.
Thank you, Canva.
Oh, I shouldn't have introduced you after that because I'm not going to be able to do an introduction. You don't know Tracy. Here's Tracy.
Here's Tracy.
Here
Dan
I
is
am.
recovering.
I made the video.
You made the video. Tracy, why don't you share? There was something special that you shared with me last week when we had a coffee chat about what Dan experienced through the personal branding bonanza and his time getting to know you and Tara and the Business Peeps community.
Yeah, because we're trying to make Dan cry. Is this what we're trying to do?
Yes.
I think we've accomplished that because he hasn't looked at the camera.
I think we have achieved victory.
We're all just going to go in.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I am Tracy Borison. I am a personal branding coach, and I'm all about, well, I said it in the video, creating safe spaces for people to be themselves. And I ran what I thought was a pretty phenomenal bonanza in December that was a 3-week event that was all about people just finding space to be themselves. And one of the activities that we had as part of the bonanza was something that I very cleverly called BYOB, bring your own brand. And what we did in those networking events was celebrate ourselves, because most often we don't celebrate ourselves. We're really good at celebrating other people. Just like it's really easy for me to create a video that celebrates Dan because I got all these things and I was like, yeah, that's true. Like, that's why the video is 15 minutes long because I can't cut out things that are true. I have to include all the things that are true. And Dan can argue with me if he wants, and he usually does. So we'll see where that goes. But one of the things I got to watch Dan do as part of that session, in which, I don't know, at least 50% of the people who attended that networking event cried, good, happy tears, was that he got a minute to celebrate himself. And Dan, I hope that you put so much work into this community, into this post. And I know you don't do it for recognition. I think we all know that. And you need to take a minute and recognize it. And I'm going to stop talking right now because I want you to just even take 10 seconds to let it sink in even deeper than it already has, because you have all these people here who are excited to celebrate you. And I just want you to just sorry. It's true though.
Damn it. I knew it was gonna be you. Fuck.
Sorry. Canadians, man. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's our fault. We're just too nice, apparently.
Sorry.
We love you.
Sorry for the language, folks. Not really, but whatever. Jesus. Okay, sorry to the Christians. So- oh God. Okay. Let me start off by doing something that I don't do very well. Thank you.
If it makes you feel any better, Tara's gonna cry too.
I know.
I can see it in her eyes.
This isn't one of those moments that I want Tara, like, I'm not worried about. There's no value in it for me wanting Tara to cry. I love Tara. And I joke with her, but it's only because of how much admiration and respect I have for her. Same thing with Brendan, who I think, well, no, he unequivocally gets the brunt of my sarcasm. The single most important thing that happened to me growing up is my father was the head of our temple, and we had scheduled a trip to the soup kitchen. And a couple weeks before the trip, my father wakes my brother and I up at the crack of dawn, says, "Come on, let's go." And we didn't know where we were going. Got dressed, got in the car. Couldn't have been more than 7 or 8 years old. We drive down, and those that are from the East Coast know where I'm going to talk about, right into Irvington, New Jersey. It's right next to Newark. Most people look at Newark as being run down. Irvington was what you would call the slums at that point. And we pull in to the soup kitchen. And I remember vividly saying to my father, in what I'm going to consider very a bit of naivete, and I said, "Well, what are we doing here? We're going to be here in a couple weeks." And he looked at me very clearly and he said, "Nan, the measure of a person is what we do when nobody's watching." I'm not saying that nobody has seen what's happened last year. I know they have. I joke around about LinkedIn having no idea who I am, and I could give a shit. But I do find honor in acting in spite of obstacles, because it's the right thing to do, instead of doing them because you want an award or a label. I look at people that go onto Clubhouse and other social audio that are always up on stage. Why? What are you contributing? I don't want to be in space where I'm not contributing. If I am, and I find that I don't have any value to add, I'm going to bring up somebody that can. I remember Aline Padilla, who some of you know. We were in a room one day on Clubhouse. And, there's Tegan. I didn't realize that she wasn't on screen. Sorry.
Technical, sorry.
It's okay. And I remember I was brought up and immediately I was immediately made a moderator because, well, that's what happens to me. And she was there and she was an expert.
Can you make sure they don't lock me out? Yeah, I'm going to be here for a minute.
Oh, yeah, I won't want it.
Okay, awesome.
Homegirl doing her job and showing us love.
Yes.
We got you, Melanie.
So they weren't letting her talk, and she had been there way longer than I was. And I spoke up. I said, please moderate Aline in my spot. She's more knowledgeable than I am in this. And I didn't think anything of it. But then I got a message from her a couple days later. Actually, I got a call that no male had ever done that for her before. It kind of shook me. Because to me, it's doing the right thing is doing the right thing. There's no cognitive discussion that's going on in the brain about whether or not it's right. It's just right. And it surprises me still that there's so many people out there that don't see that. I talk about diversity, equity, inclusion. I talk about people like Liz Lieben, Future Can, that have been tremendous role models for me. I talk about John Graham Jr., who wrote Plantation Theory, who I always talk about because, one, he's a famous friend. But no, he's actually a close friend of mine. And we talk all the time about what the problems are plaguing our society. And we have to be better. And at the end of the day, that's why I do what I do. Because if I don't, then my kids can't grow up to be what they want to be. I did not anticipate talking this much on this live. And I always say that. But here we are. I want to thank all of you before I lose track of my head and my ass for being here today, for showing up. Because again, after 36 years, it's nice to have people that show up. Still not used to it. So thank you. Fuck. Okay. Anna, it's yours.
All right, everyone. Dan Roth, Job Connection Tuesday. We have all the feels. Dan, I was trying to say earlier, stand up, take a deep breath, inhale it all in, exhale it all out, let the feelings come, stand in your power, honor where you are in this beautiful day of January 25th, 2022. You know, this is a testimonial to what is possible when you're open to feedback, when you're willing to take action, when you're willing to have tough conversations, when you're willing to push an edge and get out of your comfort zone and be the men and women the universe has intended us to be. And you're setting that example. And it's messy. We fall down, we pick ourselves back up, we get knocked down, we get back up, and we're there to lend a hand to each other. And your journey, you're modeling exactly what you went through last year. And that is, again, that ripple effect. So embrace the feelings, honor that, celebrate it, because we're all here because of the amazing impact that you have made on this community and the thousands and thousands of lives that join your post and continue to join the Job Collection Tuesday Collective.
If anybody wants to say anything, I'm just going to let it go around. And then I don't know, I didn't know how this was going to play out. I don't know how much more I have.
All right, I'm going to take it over the edge then. Dan, when we first started chatting,
you know, there were some times when we were talking about the person that you used to be and how intentional you have been to become the person that you want to be and continue to strive to be. And in this moment where we're celebrating the anniversary of Job Connections Tuesday, I want you to celebrate how far you've come as a person, as a husband, as a father, as a friend, as a connector, as a leader, and as a LinkedIn influencer, because there is not a single person on this planet who isn't embarrassed and or ashamed or is, you know, working towards becoming the person that they strive to be. And you show us, like Anna says, the messiness of it. I was here, I'm working on this, and we can look back in this past year and holy fuck, man, like, look at how far you have come. And not only have you gone that far, you got, you know, like an army rope behind you where you're pulling everybody else with you as well who's going on this journey with you. That's community, that's power, that's love. And so we show up because we all have that same love and that same value system of continuing to grow and be there for each other. And good people know good people. You are cultivating a community of good people who are willing to give, who are willing to support each other. And that is because you are willing to be so vulnerable and be the best version of yourself that you can be. So I love you, Dan, and I'm so proud of you.
You know, Brendan told me something yesterday. It blew my effing mind. I was, I don't know why I'm breathing.
I'll tell the story myself if you don't, Dan.
I'm not going to.
Okay, I'm going to tell the story then. So I was a friend of mine, a guy I knew back in university, contacted me, looking to change his role, and you know, he saw that I knew some people, and he was like, "Hey, cool, you know, can you help me out? Can you kind of point me in the right direction?" And so I pointed him towards the group, and I pointed him towards Dan, and said, "You know, I mean, this is probably the best group on LinkedIn, certainly to be a part of. And, you know, if you need something, this is the place to go." And I said to him, you know, and you definitely need to follow Dan. And his response was something to the effect of, "Oh my God, you know Dan? Like, really? Dan? You know Dan? He's all over my feed. Like, as a job seeker, he's all over my feed. He's all over my front page. He's everywhere. He seems to know everyone." And it's kind of true. And the reality is Dan does know, you know, seemingly everyone. And Dan is, I don't know how he has enough time in the day, but Dan does, you know, is everywhere all the time. So, I mean, with kids and I assume a life outside of this, you know, I don't know how he does it, but he's here. He's created this community and it's awesome. And you know, I'm happy to be able to point people towards it because it, you know, as much as it's fun to be able to say like, "Oh, this is Dan," and you know Dan, yeah, you know, the reality is being able to point towards it. It does change things. It does give people who, you know, need that boost. It gives them a boost. It gives people some direction that didn't have direction even. You know, it's amazing. So Dan gets to revel in some kudos and some fun moments there.
If you think I'm reveling, you don't know me very well.
No, I know it. That's exactly why I say you should revel in them, even though I know it's going to be the most uncomfortable possible thing.
This is something that's it's gonna take me a long time to process all this. And thank you. And you know, when Brendan told me that, I was like, "Wait, are you sure he was talking about this Dan Roth and not the other one?"
Oh yeah.
Melissa, I have to listen to your message. I haven't gotten to it yet. I promise I will.
I have something to say as well because you guys saw the numbers, right? There's like this this post, this community has impacted millions, legitimately millions of people have seen, and you don't even know the extent to which that has impacted them. And Dan, the first time I met you, you were talking about your kids, and all you do in this world is for your kids. And I think sometimes we forget what this does, right? This post has touched 1 million people. 1 million more people have access to good people who want to help them, who want to take care of them, who have seen that this is the type of life and community that we can live in. And the more people who believe that create an environment for our kids that is it's irreplaceable, right? This is like a whole bunch of us on this panel who are parents, right? This is what we want for our kids. We want our kids to be able to feel accepted. We want our kids to have confidence in themselves when they go into a job search that takes them 17 months. We don't want our kids to question whether or not they have value in this world because of who they are, for their religion or their color or their whatever else, right? And that might just look like a post, or it might just look like a LinkedIn community, but what you create is the belief for other people that they can live in a community and a world that looks like that. And that world is going to be a way better world for our kids to live in. So I thank you from Nicholas's perspective because he gets to live in a safer world, a more accepting world, a more hopefully peaceful world, because people like you bother to show up once a week. Well, you show up lots on LinkedIn, but because you bother to show up. And that, I don't think you should forget that connection, because as much as you do for your girls, this is doing something for your girls.
Thank you. So listen.
And my daughter too.
And my boys too.
My daughter too.
I love Riley. She's amazing. And
oh my gosh, fun fact, just on that note, Tara and I were live earlier today and Riley had Tara's phone and she was like commenting all of this ridiculous stuff. So if you guys need a good laugh.
And I couldn't stop any of it. Like,
oh my gosh.
Check it out. This is what happens when the 8-year-old gets a hold of your comments.
Oh, it was terrible.
Well, listen. Awesome. Hey, Dan, I've got to jump. You guys, I love everybody who's up here. I respect and just admire all of you so much. I think that just one key thing I want to leave you with is the fact that I think on LinkedIn and really everywhere out there in the career community, there's so many of us who are excited to help for whatever, reason we do it, right? I mean, whether going through layoffs and job loss ourselves, or seeing our friends go through that tough journey, or just having it in, or falling in love with recruiting and wanting to help more and more people, whatever the reason, sometimes it just takes that. We all want to help, but sometimes it takes that single person to lead the charge and to say, I don't know where to start, but I'm going to start. And so, Dan, I just thank you so much for being the spark that lit the fire here. And I'm so, so honored to be a part of this journey and to be carrying the flag and running so hard right behind you. So thanks for doing it. So I really love you guys.
Before you leave, love you too. Thank you for getting my name right today.
Even a blind squirrel gets an acorn every once in a while. That's all right. Thanks, Dan.
You're welcome. All right. Yeah. If anybody else wants to say anything, then I'm going to start to close this out.
Thanks for joining, Claire.
Yeah, we've been at this for about an hour and a half. I'm running on like an hour of sleep. I still actually have work to do, even though I worked 15 hours yesterday. That's not why I want to leave. I
You're just uncomfortable. Then I'm
Hey,
gonna
Dan, this
stay
is your
on
show,
here.
man. You want the show to be done? This is your show.
No, I mean,
It's your show.
so like, well, first of all, I want to be respectful to those that are watching because, you know, a 2-hour show is kind of crazy. All right, so let me say this because I was going to say this later on, but this is something that's important to a lot of us, and I'm glad Tegan is here. Next week, February, is Black History Month. There's a lot of problems with our society, and it starts with the fact that people don't understand the true history of America. People have lived in a world that takes comfort. Who needs to mute you? That takes comfort in the way things are instead of the way things should be. For 450 years, people that have looked like me have created an atmosphere of bias and suppression in order to further their own agenda, in order to stay at the top of the pecking order. You don't have to agree with me if you don't want to, but for those watching, here's my challenge to you. In February, if you look like me, or even if you don't, I want you to listen to John Graham, Troy Holt. I want you to hear Dr. Joy DeGroy talk about post-traumatic slave syndrome. I want you to take a look at YouTube and look up Amber Ruffin talk about drown towns. I want you to take a realistic look at our recruitment system and ask yourself if it's really set up to promote equal, fair, and equitable treatment for all. If you cannot say yes genuinely, then it's time to listen. It's time to act. Silence is acceptance. I will not be silent, and I hope none of you will either. With that being said, Tegan, did you want to add anything?
Why are you asking me?
You know damn well why I'm asking you.
I mean, I'm white. I mean, I grew up in a Black community and have a Black husband and a Black son, and I live on the North Shore currently of Chicago and are moving out of it because I see the way people cross the street when it's just my husband jogging, and I see the way that that same person, you know, wants to make sure my son's at their kid's birthday party. It's real. It's out there. And so for anybody who sits back and says yes, that everything is okay, it's not. It's bullshit. You know, as a recruiter, I had that hiring manager say, go with the person with this last name because I can pay him cheaper. No, fuck that. Like, this has to stop. And until we're willing as a community to look at ourselves first and foremost, to treat that Black man the same as we would if he's with his white wife or Black wife or whatever, it's going to continue to remain in our employment system. If it's in our communities, then it's in our places of employment. And there's a beauty in diversity, and not just gender diversity, not just religious diversity, in cultural diversity, in it makes this world a better place. It makes our businesses better, and it makes us better human beings. And so if you're watching this and if you're a fan of Dan's, it's because deep down inside, you know, you love growth, you love progress, you love cheering for people to win, and that includes all people. And when we look at what are we doing to make differences in our communities, it's us as leaders, the majority of us that serve leaders. It's encouraging those leaders. As a resume writer, I want to feature the fact that my clients are spearheading or sponsoring these DE&I initiatives in their organizations, and that they have numbers to match that talk, you know, that it's not just talk, that there's actually numbers to back it up. So like Dan said, we can tear this glass ceiling down regardless of who it's for. So
No.
have
Remove the glass ceiling. Don't tear
remove it. Remove it. Yes, exactly. Dan, you said it the best. Thank you for correcting me. It just, you want to make this world a better place for your girls. I want my husband to come home at the end of the night. I want my son to not be the token Black kid, because people then say, oh no, but my son has a, you know, it just, that's a whole nother tangent we could get on. There's a lot of work that we can all do. And like you said, it starts with listening. We all look the same. All of us here on this screen right now pretty much look the same. So it's going to take us, you know, going and supporting other people who don't look like us and building those relationships and taking the time to be able to break down some of the walls built up out of protection. Dan said he didn't have a friend until he was 22. That has a lot to do with neurodiversity. I don't know about everybody else, but me being neurodiverse, I feel that. Now imagine what it feels like to have your ancestors and ancestors and ancestors to have that and it still be going on today. It's so deeply rooted in just because of how somebody looks, and it's so fucked up. And we all can have a little piece in it. And like Tracy was saying, we're making the world a better place with this ripple effect that goes beyond just helping people get jobs. That is being inclusive, being a community, and celebrating and intentionally seeking out opportunities to listen to other people's perspective and figure out a way to intertwine that to be inclusive of everyone's ideas.
Yeah, and I couldn't have said it better. And let's be mindful of something. I know we have Tracy on the stage. It's not just, as Tegan pointed out, the Black community. It's the disabled community. It's the people that deal with anxiety and depression that's supposed to be protected by the ADA. For those in Canada, it's the Native Canadian population. In China, people are being persecuted right now for their religion. All over the world, these things are happening. We see it as a microcosm because of the fact that this is where we are. But this is not an isolated event. We need to be better. Just point blank, we need to be better. But too often, Tegan and I wind up in rooms where we're the only people that are white that are there. How are we supposed to make change if people aren't ready to open their ears? Because what's happening right now is that a lot of people are being forced into talking through trauma porn in order to make a difference. And that's not okay. And for those that wonder what trauma porn is, when you as a white individual are asking a Black person to explain to you what it is like to be Black, you are making them relive what they deal with every day. When you are asking for their history, simply for your own input without doing the research ahead of time, you are subjecting them to going through their history. This is trauma porn. Not okay. With that note, let's switch on to happier subjects. Okay.
Sorry, Dan, can I just say one thing on that?
Please.
Because I think so many of us over the years, I'm speaking as a white individual here, I have committed acts. I have committed acts not intentionally of racism. I have done that, not intentionally, and I have, right? And I think that it's important for us who look like us to realize that and forgive ourselves for that, because we didn't know better and now we know better. So what Dan is saying is, once you know better, we need to do better, right? If you didn't know better until you listened to this conversation right now, you didn't know better before, you know better now, let's go do something different. Right? We have the capability every day to learn something new when we listen. And we don't have to blame ourselves for it, and we can help fix it. So I just wanted to make sure that we have the space for all of
No,
us.
I appreciate it, Tracy, and I should have opened it up first. I am going to wind up winding down, but this is the other thing that I wanted to say. Through social media, I got to meet a young lady by the name of Fumi Ulam. Her son has sickle cell anemia, and for those that don't know sickle cell, it's a debilitating condition. It's an incurable condition. It's one that can have a ripple effect and is very expensive. And I thought, as we got close, I thought, as a parent, what would I do if my child came down with something and I couldn't control it? So in 2022, my goal is to raise 10,000 pounds. You heard that right, 10,000 pounds, not $10,000, to support her nonprofit. You see it across the screen. It's called Crescent Kids. And for those that are watching here, let me do this. So this is Crescent Kids at crescentkids.org. The goal of Crescent Kids is to pay for the blood transfusions that are so needed and to provide resources for the parents that need them. If you want to help, there are a lot of ways to do so. You can donate, you can share, spread the word. Anything helps. Fumi has become like a sister to me. And I will not stop supporting this until I know that she can rest easy at night. Because as a parent, that's what we do. All right, final thoughts from anybody who wants it.
Let's roundtable it.
Yeah.
Anna, you go first.
Well, wait. Let
I
Melanie
mean,
go first. She's staying after, like they're gonna lock her out. I think that's what we heard.
oh, you want Melanie to go? Is that what I heard?
She's getting.
Well, apparently she's gonna be locked out.
No, I'm okay. That's why I went off camera to make sure that I'm okay. I'm all right.
All right, sorry, Anna, go ahead.
No, I was just soaking it all in. I appreciate everyone here with everything they've shared, and allowing us to let Dan soak in all that hard work and amazing, experience that he's created this year. And I appreciate all of you, sharing your frequency and your beautiful energy in this, celebratory live. And I'm just, like Claire said, I'm, running behind you, supporting you as much as I can, and just excited to see where this all goes in the next year, 2 year, 5 years. I mean, it's going to be so good. So over to you, Melanie.
I know I'm the newest member here, but just thank you for providing me with a community. It means the world. I've always wanted someone that's really diverse. I know I can come to you if I need somebody to talk to. I know I can send any of my candidates to you and they're safe. It's just meant the world. Everybody I've met has been so kind. I've talked to, everybody. I know I just met Anna today, but everybody is just so warm and welcoming. Dan, you've been so kind to me, and it's just, I can't recommend you guys enough. So thank you for everything, Dan.
Brendan, why don't you?
I mean, what can you even say at this point? This community is amazing. As I said earlier, the people on the stage are fantastic. I've met so many incredible people through this, and for me, it's been a place where, I've grown myself. I've definitely grown myself by being here. And will I continue to grow? I hope so. It's my goal for 2022. I want to keep growing. I want to keep being part of this community because the people are amazing, and it gives me a chance to give back to other people. I didn't start off in this community looking to try to help other people, looking to try to do stuff. I came here honestly looking for help getting a job for myself. And it's turned into a place where not only do I get a chance to interact with the awesome people on the stage who are amazing, but it's also given me the opportunity to give back. It's given me the opportunity to say, you know what? I have something, right? But I can help somebody else get somewhere. And whether I get paid for that, whether I don't, that's not the point. The point is to help somebody. And this community has provided people the opportunity to help others in a way that I didn't think possible. And I certainly wouldn't have thought possible before I joined in on LinkedIn. And it's, as much as I said in the video, it is a life-changing thing. It really is. Meeting the people here has been legitimately life-changing. And I look forward to keeping that going in 2022. This year has been already off to a great start. I know it's going to continue. Post only will get bigger, I'm sure, and the community will only get larger. And let's see if we can make Dan blush again. But it is just incredible. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here. I'm grateful for everything Dan has created. And the community is fantastic, and it is so supportive. Like I say, it's the best. You're all the best.
All right, I don't care who goes next. Whoever wants to.
I can go.
Yeah.
So everything that Brendan just shared, you guys, this is not just Brendan's experience. There's how many people in the group now? 3,400? More than
35.
that? 3,500 people in this group. This all happened because Dan made one post. So not only is this a testament to the commitment that Dan has to this community and job seekers and them knowing and owning their worth, but it also is a testament to doing the one thing you believe in that you believe can make the difference. And it can just be a small thing. Right now, a lot of us have a hard time posting, right? This was one post one time that turned into 52 consecutive weeks. You don't know it's going to do that when you start, but it could. So I want you guys to take this as your opportunity to create the impact you want to make. We each have an impact that we can make. You guys can equally contribute to people like Brendan. Like there's hundreds of millions of people on LinkedIn. There's so many people that we can impact. And when you do it the way you believe, in a way that reflects who you are, which is exactly what Dan is a testament to, that is what you can achieve. So thank you, Dan, for being an amazing role model. And thank you for everybody who is going to continue to take step number one in doing what they believe.
Do I have to go after that? All of this?
This is all up to y'all. Who wants to talk and who doesn't. I don't blame you.
No, I'm kidding. Man,
Don't make me cry.
There were all the feels. I mean, I had several times there, guys. Man, my challenge and what I see in this group and what I say all the time is come to the table and have those hard conversations. Today, there weren't always easy conversations, right? But our children deserve better. And the impact that we can make from coming to the table and sitting with others that are not like us is crucial to moving forward in this world. And so what you're doing for the people that you're affecting is really is incredible. And like Tracy and everyone else has said, like the role model that you are creating for your children and for our children and for the people in this LinkedIn community. I don't know that you'll ever realize that. I hope you can see it more clearly after today, right? I think that that's something that you need to be able to enjoy. But I am grateful that I can sit at the table with you guys, because it allows me to be a better person. Therefore, I can go out and do better, right? Just like you guys were talking about. So my challenge to everyone this year is to be intentional with the connections you are making, right? Connections are crucial. It is your opportunity to the world. So think about that and be willing to sit at the table, even when it's difficult. And it will be difficult. I'll promise you, there are several conversations during the Bonanza that I sat in on and I was like, whew, this is not my table. But you know what? I need to be at this table because I need to better understand this. And that's why connections are so critical. And Dan, I love you and I'm so very proud of you. And I'm just honored to be here.
Tara, all I'm going to say to that is you're welcome at my table anytime, but you probably should eat beforehand because I can't cook.
Tara will have Barrett cook.
Hey, you told me you can make matzo ball soup. Is that a lie, Dan?
You're
No.
holding out on us then.
I can no, so I could make matzo ball soup. I could smoke meats. I could use the grill. I'm sounding very much like a guy for the first time. And then I can make challah, rugula, basically most Jewish foods, with the exception of gefilte fish. Rachel B. Lee, if you're watching this, they're disgusting. I don't know how you eat it. Josh, I hope you stay outside of 30 feet at all times for an hour after she eats it.
That sounds like you can cook a lot more than I can cook with just meatloaf.
I can't make challah. No matter how many times I try, I mess it up every time.
And why, like, hearing you talk about cooking made me think that I want to set an intention to have some kind of live Job Connection Tuesday event, whether it's in Atlanta, in California. I am just putting that out into the universe, and somehow it's connected to matzo balls. But I'm Anna, and I'm complete. I think Tegan's going to take us out.
No, Dan will. Okay, for all of you who are still tuning in, it looks like there's still 24 people here from the hundreds that were watching in the first hour. Job Connections Tuesday is all about connections. We have to connect with each other. And if you're one of the lurkers, there's no problem with that. But if you're one of the people who have made it to the end and are feeling, I want a tribe like that. I want a place to belong. I want to have that kind of impact. I want to make that ripple effect or be in that ripple. It takes connecting. And so go on to people's pages. There's 3,500 members right now. Click members, see who's there in your industry, who has an interesting headline, whatever, and connect with them. Don't just press follow. Genuinely look at their posts, see what they're interested in, connect with them, have a virtual coffee without saying, can you get me a job? No, actually connect. Like, the fact that I know Dan is colorblind doesn't happen because Dan needed a job a year ago. It happened because we connected. And so if you've gotten anything from the conversation today, one, heck yeah, Dan, incredible year. And two, it takes effort into fostering relationships. And it takes vulnerability and consistency to have this type of tribe. And so if this is what you're yearning for, it's possible. So do the work. And so Dan, close us out.
All right, let me get back in the habit. All right. So let's talk about what's coming up on Dan Roth Live going forward. So first of all, this is somewhat breaking news. If you are used to seeing me, I'm sorry that's going to be changing. In 2022, I have a goal. And that goal is to make enough money so that I can give my wife, who's been the breadwinner, who's been my rock for the last 10 years when I had nobody else, an opportunity to really take time to explore what she wants to do, to spend time with our kids. And because of that, it's really important to me, and I'm going to be placing a focus on paid public speaking. I did 60 free talks, discussions, interviews in the last 12 months, 2 keynote addresses in Nigeria, woke up at 3 a.m. on multiple occasions, worked with the UK and everywhere else. At some point, and this is something that both Anna and Tracy specifically taught me, you have to know your worth. So while I am cutting back, does that mean that you won't see me at all? No, I'm still going to be active in the community. I'm still going to be doing my own thing, but there's going to be more of an emphasis on intentionality. Because while I love everyone here, my wife deserves the opportunity to figure out what she wants to do. So with that, other things that you're going to expect, the next live I'm going to do is going to be with Laura Sexton, who is a financial coach. I'm also going to have a number of other interviews. One thing I realized, I don't like coming on here by myself. I'd rather interview, make somebody else look good. Negligible of the fact I talked way too much today. So if you're interested, keep on following, take a good gander. Please listen to all the advice that we had here today. Some of the most amazing people that I have ever met in my life have been present. Take a look at John Graham. Take a look at Temi and my IT University. Take a look at Future Kane, Brenda Meller. One of the cool things is Anna has an event coming up for her coaching program. Go in, take a look there, sign up for it. It's way undervalued for what she should be asking for. And God knows if she can make a diamond out of my ass, she can make a diamond out of pretty much anybody. Let's
go.
My business keeps, your business keeps community. Brenda, I'm sorry, Tara and Tracy. I know Tracy. Yeah, of course I know Tracy. She's my favorite Canadian next to Ryan Reynolds. It is a program that I am in. If you're not part of the Job Connection Tuesday Collective, let me reiterate, coaches, resume writers, influencers. We've got some of the biggest celebrities on Instagram. Rachel Beck is there. I mean, we've got more LinkedIn top voices than you're going to find in the Northern Hemisphere. All of this stuff we've got going on. It's 100% free. I probably should make a profit out of it, but I don't, because I know what it's like to be a job seeker and I'd rather give back to you. Now, there's multiple ways that I could be rolling out within this broadcast. All of you that know me that know that I like to do a word on self-confidence. I like to do a word on mental health. So here's the deal. Mental health is not something to be talked about in ways that highlight trends. Words like imposter syndrome is just a cleverly designed way of talking about inferiority complex, which is something we deal with from the day that we're born all the way through. When we're sitting in our cafeteria in elementary school, maybe I'm dating myself and you see the cool kid table and you say, I want to be there. That is inferiority complex. If you're neurodiverse, if you're disabled and you feel like you wish that you were normal, you are normal. This is your superpower. Do not be afraid of being yourself, because we all have those idiosyncrasies that make us who we are. Without my neurodiversity, I could not have done what I did with Job Connection Tuesdays. That's a fact. That's not a suggestion.
What do you call it? Or I don't know if you called it, but Claire called it really how you kind of reverse engineered how those of us that have similar brains get hyper focused and almost obsessive of learning things. I couldn't remember the term.
I'm brain dead at this point.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm not gonna
Find it.
But
it's beautiful.
The entire point is that we need to normalize these conversations. We need to accept each other for who we are, because, and I'm going to say one more somewhat controversial thing, race is a construct. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. So let's treat each other fairly, equitably, and we'll be part of a better society. Now, I could do my normal outro, but I created this one, the intro specifically for this. It's one of my favorite bands that got the music. I feel it's only appropriate since I could only do it once and I spent an hour and a half on it to use it, to use it again. I want to thank every person that was up here on the stage, from Claire to Troy to Melanie to Tracy to Tara and to Catherine, everybody in between. Remember, don't do drugs and don't do Pete's Coffee. Have a great day, everyone. We will talk to you. We'll see you next time.
With a little love and some tenderness, we'll walk upon the water, we'll rise above the mist. With a little peace and some harmony, we'll take the world together, we'll take them by the hand. 'Cause I got a hand for you. Standing there, your head was down, your eyes were red, no comb I touched your hair. I said get up and let me see you smile. We'll take a walk together, walk the road a while, 'cause I got a hand for you, I got a hand for you, I wanna run with you, oh, don't let me run with you. The best that I can.
Bye, everyone.